Hi friends, Marlene aka Snow Gardener 307 here today. We are here for part 3 of the January budget setup today. We are going to be setting up my weekly check-ins. So I'm going to be using these stickers from Sara Marie. I'm also going to be using some thin washi. We're still dealing with the washi that I ordered that was the wrong size, just so you guys know. And I've got a thick piece of washi. So let's go ahead and get started in here. I don't know how many of you guys like doing weekly check-ins, but I can tell you this. When I do weekly check-ins, it helps me stay on budget. How many times have you guys all of a sudden realized towards the middle of the month that you've already went through almost all of your monthly budget? There's not much that you can do at that point, right? So it makes it a little bit easier to stay on track. Me getting paid only once a month, this is really important because I only get one check a month. So there is no check coming next week or in a couple weeks. If it's December 15th, I'm not getting another check for 2 more weeks. So we're going to go ahead and put our weekly check in. And Sara Marie just redesigned her stickers, and I'm excited to see that. So on her stickers, she has redesigned them on the end here to say notes. Now previously, because of the way her stickers were, I would actually cut this last section down because I think it said something like remaining or something like that. So let me show you guys what my December page looks like right now. So this is the way that I used to do it. So her stickers used to go all the way across, but there was a column in the end that I didn't use. And so I just came up with this, cut this off, and would list what days the weeks were. So I made it work. It's amazing how you can do that. But now that she's left the notes section, I believe under the notes section that I'm going to go ahead and write in what the weekdays are. So for January, I've made myself a little sticky note to make it easier. So in the notes section, week 1 for me is going to be the 1st through the 10th. Week 2 is the 11th through the 17th. Week 3 is the 18th through the 24th, and week 4 is the 25th through the 31st. Now, I know the 1st through the 10th is not actually a week, but that is the way that I do my budgeting. So we're going to go ahead and get started. One thing I want to point out is if you notice these little lines over here on the side, I do that to make it easier for myself as I'm laying this down. So I'm going to go ahead and put week 1 down here, and we will line this up. I like to check in on categories that sometimes I overspend on. I personally check in for our food budget. That is a big one, just so you guys know. I also check in for my allowance because, of course, I have a spending problem. I'm sure you guys have figured that out. If you watched my debt confession, you know that, like I said, my credit cards were out of control. And so I have to take care of that. So I like to know what's in my allowance. And I keep track of my car budget as well. The reason why I do this is not because I tend to overspend, but when I have to travel a lot for hockey or something like that, it's nice to know what I've got left and if I'm going to have to bring in some money out of another sinking fund. Oops, that one I almost messed up on. So we've got through week 4 here, just like this. And then down here, I'm going to put a piece of washi to finish it out. And I'm going to go ahead and use this piece here. And this way, I've got my weekly check-ins. Now, I like to write the categories in for the entire month once I've done this page. So here we go again. Our washi is too big here at the end. So again, if you've got a fancy little tool that's used to design to cut it, feel free to do that. I've got this little paring knife that works just great as long as I push down hard enough and just rip it up. So there's our weekly check-in before I write anything on it. I am going to save this little piece of washi just so you guys know, because I'm sure you noticed on my other page that I did use it. So there's our weekly check-in stickers. I'm going to go ahead and use my erasable pen, as you guys know, because I like to make mistakes. The first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and write in my notes section over here what my weeks are, just because this is something new for me. And so I'm going to write week 1. And yes, I know it says week 1 right here, but this is what I've decided to do. Week 1 is the 1st through the 10th. What I like to track. And so I'm going to start writing those categories in here. And so the first category that I track is food. And for us, we have one line item that is groceries as well as eating out. So we don't separate those. And then the next one is for me. So I just write my name down. And this is my allowance. This is my spending money. That's how I buy these stickers, just so you guys know. And then I've got my car fund. And then I have got one that has a couple different things in it. And so we've got, it's the home fund, and then it is the miscellaneous and fun, and then unbudgeted. So now I'm just going to write all of these down. Okay, so there is my weekly check-in. And so, of course, I will check in after the 10th for the first week, after the 17th for the second week, after the 24th for the third week, and for month end on the 31st. So, weekly check-in, easy peasy. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next thing. All right, so now we're back. We're going to do a transaction log that goes along with our sinking fund, and we're going to use all of this washi here. So I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. The first thing that I'm going to do is put, of course, a piece of washi down, and we're going to be doing our sinking funds first. So we'll go through here. I do want to let you guys know that on my debt confession, it does list what my sinking fund dollar amounts are at. And it was amazing how much my husband and I were able to save since April of this year. So from April to the middle of December, you might want to check that out. Okay, so I've put the washi down. Now I've got the sinking funds, and I'm going to go ahead and put this right here, just like that. And then we have got the categories. So category, beginning balance, the plus and minus, and the ending. And so on this for right now, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to write the categories, and we're going to go through this quickly. So I will fast forward it and walk you through it. So now I've got all of these written in, and I'm going to go ahead and use the total page. I do not know what was going on with my pen, just so you guys. I swear I've never had so many troubles as I did while I was trying to write the stuff here. And I just looked at something. I want to actually erase this. I didn't write it very good. It's hard to read. That fund right there is his fund. Just like I have my own personal fund, that is his there. And then let's go ahead and add a piece of washi. And this will be our sinking funds. I obviously can't add the dollar amounts for the beginning because I don't know what they're going to end up at the end of December. So when I close out my budget for December, I will go ahead and add the total there. Let me go ahead and get this trimmed. So that is our sinking funds. Just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and do our transaction log for our sinking funds. So another thick piece of washi. Get this put on the top. We'll do our transaction log sticker. I like to keep a transaction log for my sinking funds because then I can see what I'm taking in and out of them. This one is a super easy setup because obviously we're not putting anything in there right now because we won't have any logs until we start in January. So our transaction logs are done. I don't know what got on that sticker, but I'm sure it didn't come that way. So we're just stuck with that. We've got a mark on the paper. I just don't know what I've been doing. Then we're going to go ahead and take the last piece of thin washi off of this sheet and finish it down here at the bottom. So now we have that finished as well. So we've got our sinking funds and our transaction log. Thank you guys so very much for joining me for part 3 of my January budget setup. As you know, there are still more pages to come, so please stay tuned for part 4. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing, and if you liked this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thank you and have an amazing day. Bye for now.